Okay, so this is going to be a follow-up to my last post, which was about ICE and wearing masks and doxing. The timing couldn't have been better because after I made that post, made myself a cup of tea, played with my dog, and then The Atlantic has a new article that was published by Adam Serwer, The Real Reason ICE Agents Wear Masks. And I'm going to get into this because I think that some of the statistics and the quotes in it are fabulous and very helpful to know and understand. But first, before I do that, I had been thinking quite a bit about how when a police officer uses deadly use of force against a civilian and kills a civilian, we all know when it happens. It seems to be released in the media pretty quickly, and I was curious why that's not the case with ICE. So I did a little research. Police officers and ICE officers are very similar in that they're both public servants. They both are paid by the public, right? So that's something to keep in mind. They're considered public employees. Police officers' names are typically released in these situations, but it depends on the state, of course. And it's going to not surprise you at all which states have stronger transparency laws and which ones have less transparency and a delay in releasing the names of the police officers, if ever. So the states that have limited release, no surprise, Texas, Ohio, Florida, Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina, and Louisiana, which is where I am. So, typically red or swing states. The states with very strong transparency laws are California, big surprise there, New York, Colorado, Washington, Oregon, and Illinois. So those states have very strict transparency laws, and that information is typically going to be released. Now, there's a big difference between releasing the name and doxing, and I'm very aware of that. Doxing could potentially include the location of their homes, the names of their family members, etc. And, I am not an advocate of doxing at all. I should say that out loud. My last post, I was mostly joking. I mean, obviously we're not neutering people, but I wanted to kind of share that information first and foremost. Doxing's never okay. But if you are a public servant, your name should be available to the public. It should be displayed on your person. At the very least, you should have a badge number available. And that's one of the things the Democrats are asking about. But I digress. So I want to read a couple of pieces of this article that I thought were very important to understand. So let's see. I thought this was really good. Police officers are civilians. They are public servants. They are not above the public. It is part of the job of police, and for that matter, politicians, to be identifiable because of the profound authority bestowed upon them. The ability to use force is a weighty responsibility, requiring high standards of conduct, and it can and should be revoked when abused. It should be revoked when abused. It is not doxing federal agents for the public to know who they are. We are supposed to know who they are because that is how we hold them accountable. That's all we want. I mean, we want a lot more, but there you have it. The responsibilities they are given are not compatible with anonymity. I can never say
anonymity.
Anonymity. Oh my gosh. The responsibilities they are given are not compatible with
anonymity.
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 I can't say that word ever. It's impossible. Okay, so these are some statistics that I thought were very interesting. So this is from the article as well. This is from some analysis by the Cato Institute from data from last year. Law enforcement officers who don't work at ICE or Border Patrol have a death rate 6.3 times higher than that of ICE. So 6.3 times higher. And they don't wear masks. In fact, the report found immigration agents are at no greater risk than regular people. This is the part. The chance of an ICE or Border Patrol agent being murdered in the line of duty is about 1 in 94,549 per year. That's about 5.5 times less likely than a civilian being murdered. Come on. So this other part was kind of interesting. The crime rate of CBP agents in offices was higher per capita than the crime rate of undocumented immigrants in the United States. Statistically speaking, worst of the worst seems to describe CBP and Border Patrol as law enforcement agencies better than it does the people they're rounding up. ICE does not have the same history of criminal behavior, but it does share a long record of abusing its powers and mistreating people in its custody. Put succinctly, these agencies deal with people the American system has frequently treated as barely human. And now these agents have been unleashed on Americans. That part just like destroys me. And the last piece that I wanted to say, and you should go read this article. This is how it ends. When violating the Constitution on a daily basis, a mask helps because people who are assured that they won't face consequences for abusing power almost inevitably do so. One wonders if this is actually the government's purpose in masking them. When you are asking men to essentially make war on their fellow citizens, to force lightly dressed people out into the frigid Minneapolis winter, detain elementary schoolers, follow Good Samaritans as they deliver food to hiding families, and drag, tackle, beat, tase, or even shoot American citizens, you may find telling them that they can keep their identity hidden useful. The mask may work less to protect federal agents from danger than to make it easier for them to do unspeakable things. And that right there is the crux of the problem. So reach out to Democrats and Republicans and let them know that you do not want them masked any longer. ICE should not be masked. They also should wear very clear badge numbers, and they need to quit doing these roving gang things in the street looking for trouble, because that's what they're doing. And then they're getting all amped up and they're beating people, breaking ribs, throwing them to the ground, pistol whipping them. These are all unacceptable things. We wouldn't stand for it with our police officers, and we should damn well not stand for it with ICE.